So about a year ago, I believe, I started my own Widow legacy with Citral Tabor, of course, over on TikTok, because that's where I used to put all my videos. Um, but we are going to do part two. So somewhere in her um six husbands or wives, because that's all I think she made it to, Cicero got pregnant. Yeah. And I believe the baby daddy was Camden, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. The story goes that Citral was getting revenge for her mom, 'cause her mom was scorned and shamed for being the Sims town lady of the night. So Citral was going around and breaking up everybody's marriages and trying to sleep with everybody and steal their money. So, in true fashion, we getting revenge for our family members. Her son, who she had by Camden, I believe, is in the game to do it also. Okay, so if you don't remember, his name is Christian, and he's all grown up. But we're not, I don't know if we're going to start actually playing him in this episode. I do want to go and show you some of the descendants. So I forgot to save, I deleted the original save file. So, because, I still had some of the people saved, I was able to remake Christian. But I've been going in and redoing the townies and only using their descendants or their descendants or making their descendants. So what we're going to do is go in and give you an introduction or an overview of the people, their descendants, and or people that I have placed in the game that he is going to be getting revenge on. All right, so we're going to start with the Spencer Kim Lewis family. All right. I need to bring up the original people, okay? So I could see who they were. But we're gonna put it over here. So, let me go back out because I want to read the new family description. Okay, this just keep popping up over here. I want to read the new family description from their descendants. All right, so we starting with the Spencer Kim Lewis family. Their description said, okay, here's the breakdown. Dennis Kim and Lydia Spencer had a daughter named Alice Spencer Kim, then divorced. Alice married Eric Lewis and had her own little girl, Olivia Kim Lewis. They lived with Alice's dad, Dennis, remember? And Eric's mom, Vivian Lewis. And it says, hey, no one ever said family was easy. So from that save file, you had Eric Lewis, Alice Spencer Kim, their daughter Olivia Kim Lewis, Eric's mother Vivian Lewis, and Alice's father Dennis Kim. Okay, so from that family, it says my new description says generations later, the Spencer Kim line continues with Kathleen and Kobe Spencer Kim, proud descendants of a complicated family tree. They've inherited both charm and the chaos of their ancestors, balancing traditional with modern ambition. This new branch of the family proves that the Spencer Kim household family ties and drama run deep. All right, so I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna show you their outfits. All right, so the first descendant is Kathleen Kim Lewis. All right, and this is her every day. Her formal, I believe, is next. This is her formal. Okay. This is her athletic. This is her. We'll skip sleep because you don't really see that. Her party. You have swimwear. You have hot weather. You have cold weather. All right, and then her aspiration is self-care specialist, and her traits are foodie, cat lover, and jealous. All right. Then next we have, I believe his name is Kobe. And as you can see, it is so easier to dress female Sims. But hey, this is Kobe. His aspiration is mansion baron. He's adventurous. He's a plant lover, and he is very proper. Okay. So let's go through his outfits. This is his everyday. Then you have his formal. Then you have his athletic. Then you have his party. Then you have his swimwear, his hot weather, and his cold weather. So that's the first remade family. And then we're going to go on to the next one. So we have the Grimm household, which is a set of girls that I made myself. Um, and it says three sisters, three very different paths, all dreams of musical stardom. Allie, sorry, dreams of musical stardom and never misses a chance to mingle or meddle. Ellie lives a life at full speed, chasing parties, adventures, and narrowly escaping danger along the way. And then Kelly is the brains of the family, balancing her genius with chill for spirit and drive to be everyone's friend. Can these sisters thrive together, or will their wildly different lifestyle cause a little grim drama? Okay, and then we're gonna go through their outfits so you can see what they look like. But they're three sisters. I don't think they're triplets. They're just three sisters. So you have Allie, who is an adult. Her aspiration is musical genius. She's outgoing. She's a dog lover and she's nosy. Okay, and we're gonna show her outfits. This is her everyday. My computer card quick. There we go. So that's Allie every day. This is her formal. So Allie said she can get there. We don't want sleep. We want athletic. Her athletic. Her party. Her swimwear. Her hot weather. And I believe she's the youngest sister. And then her cold weather. Alright, and then we have, that's Allie. Then we have Ellie. I believe she's like the middle sister. Ellie is also a young adult. Okay, her aspiration is party animal. And one of her traits is party animal. She loves the outdoors, and she is chased by death apparently. So this is her everyday. Her formal. Her athletic wear. Her party. Her swimwear. Her hot weather. And her cold weather. Right? And then Kelly, I believe, is the oldest. Let's see. So Kelly isn't a young adult too. So they're all around the same age, but we're gonna pretend that Kelly's the oldest. Um, her aspiration is friend of the world. She has the genius trait. She's cheerful and she is competitive. Okay, this is Kelly. Sorry, Kelly's everyday, and then her formal, her athletic, her party. She needs a little makeup. I don't know. Her swimwear, her hot weather, her cold weather. All right. So those are the three Grimm sisters that I put in game. All right. Next, of course, is the Goth household. So their previous description says the Goths are an aristocratic family with a dreary aura. Between Mortimer's writing macabre stories and Bella's mysterious disappearances, will Cassandra and Alexander grow up to be gloomy too? Okay, so in their family they had the mom Bella, the dad Mortimer, and then they had two children, um, Cassandra and Alexander. Their new description says now grown, Cassandra and Alexander carry their family's eerie elegance and legacy of mystery, with Mortimer's love for Macabre and Bella's vanishing charm running through their veins. The new era of Goths keeps the mansion alive with secrets, sophistication, and just the right touch of gloom. All right, so let's see what their outfits look like. And then some of these I randomized the Sims, so like what they have on might not match because um you know how Sims get a hold to RCCs. All right. So Cassandra, I didn't change nothing about her except she's now an adult. Her aspiration was secret of secrets. She's creative and she's gloomy, of course. And these are her outfits. So every day, and I just want to show her face cards. 'Cause I always dressed her in all black because I just love seeing her in all black. So her everyday, her formal, her athletic, her party. I don't know if I get her more than one outfit. I have not been checking for more than one outfit. Her swimwear. I don't think I'm giving anybody more than one outfit, but you never know. Her hot weather, and then her cold weather. I just like seeing her in all black, and every time I reveal her, she's in fully tattooed in all black. Next, we have Alexander. All right, Alexander, I believe, is also an adult. No, he's a young adult. He's aspiration friend of animals. He's a bookworm, child of the islands, and a horse lover. Okay, and then these are his outfits. You have his everyday, his formal. He took wearing a suit from his dad. Athletic. See what I mean about the not matching? Party, swimwear, hot weather, cold weather. And yeah, there we have the Goth family. So we started with Bob and Eliza, and their description says, poor, poor Bob and Eliza. Have they ever been happy? It seems there's nothing one can do to please the other. Just what is keeping this couple together? Or conversely, what is the spark that will finally drive them apart? And with their descendants, it says, time has passed, And Bob and Eliza Pancakes might have only did two things right. Their twin daughters, Selena and Martina. The house is livelier but not necessarily happier. The twins have grown up in a whirlwind of tension and burnt waffles. Will Selena and Martina break the cycle of drama or add a new twist to the ever sizzling pancakes legacy? Alright, and then we're gonna go look at their outfits. Alright, so we're gonna start with Selena. She is a young adult. Her aspiration is archaeology scholar. She's neat. She's child of the islands, and she's a maker. All right. This is her everyday. Her formal. Her athletic. Her party. Her swimwear. I need some new CCs because I feel like I put on the same thing on all of my Sims. Her hot weather and her cold weather. All right, I'm gonna go over to her sister Martina. So Martina, aspiration is world famous celebrity, and I believe she might be a teen. Oh no, she's a young adult. Oh no, yeah, adult young. Okay, she's a young adult. I don't know why she only has two aspirations, but okay. World famous celebrity, insider, and geek. So this is her everyday. Her formal. And apparently I dressed them alike. Athletic, just different colors. Her party. Um, her swimwear. Her hot weather. And her cold weather. All right. All right, so we have our last household in Willow Creek, the BFF household. And it started with the description free spirit liberty, cheerful, chill, cheerful summer, and geeky Travis are unlikely friends, and nothing can come between these three, except perhaps the growing feelings that both Summer and Liberty have for Travis. All right. Their new description, it says, after her mother, Liberty's bright and carefree youth, Everly Lee inherited more than just her mother's bookish charm. Behind her gentle smile lies a past marked by heartbreak and a tragedy that she rarely speaks of. Her son Israel was born from pain, yet he's become the light that keeps her moving forward. Now, the two live in a quiet strength, rebuilding their world one small joy at a time. Let's look at their outfits. So we are playing on the descendants of Liberty Lee. And she looks just like her mother. Okay. So Everly is a young adult. Her aspiration is painter extraordinaire. One of her traits is creative, and the other one is competitive. Okay, so this is her everyday, her formal, her athletic, her party, her swimwear. So she's kind of girl next door, but with a little bit of street style. Her hot weather, She said she's a baddie as a single mom. And her cold weather. Now, I don't think I really dressed her son, Israel, but we're going to go through his clothes as well. All right. So her son, Israel, is a child, sin. His aspiration is cool kid on the block, and his trait is good. Um, Israel, you don't look like a cool kid on the block. His everyday, his formal, yeah, son, you are not cool. Athletic, and he's like slightly more Caucasian than her. Party, you got to get a new wardrobe, sir, if you want to be the cool kid on the block. His swimwear, his hot weather. Yeah, Everly, you're gonna have to get him some style pointers, and his cool weather. And that's what we have for the new BFF household. Squeeze the Oasis Spring world in this episode. Um, I'm doing this one clip at a time, so I don't know how far I have gotten up to. But I'm going to start with the Caliente household. Their previous description says it's no longer girls only. Now that the Caliente matriarch, Katrina has moved in her mooching boy toy Dawn. With three fiery, attractive ladies in the house, will Don remain faithful or will he get involved with more than one Caliente woman? Okay, the new description for the Caliente family. It says, once the heart of scandal and seduction, the Caliente home hasn't cooled off just yet. Don Lothario, now older but no less charming, lives out his golden years surrounded by his fiery daughters Paola and Amira, the product of his long and complicated romance with Katrina Caliente. So he did wind up staying with the mom. Though the days are the Though the days of wild flings may be behind him, the Caliente spark burns bright in the next generation. With ambition, allure, and reputation to uphold, will Paola and Amira continue the family's legacy? Right? And let's get into their outfits. So I'm guessing this family theme is blue because it looks like they are. All right, so starting off with Don. I don't think I changed anything. I just aged him up to elder. So I don't know if his aspiration is and traits are the same, but as for now, aspiration is fabulous. I cannot talk today. Fabulously wealthy. Traits non-committal, disruptive, and dog lover. That kind of sounds like him. All right, so hot stuff Don Lothario. His everyday. See, he got rid of the image he had. His formal. It's cute now that he wears glasses. It's athletic. So Don is still kind of, muscle. He got a little muscle on him. His party. Don't know what the party is. Maybe he don't party no more. His swimwear. His hot weather. And his cold weather. And that is Don Lothario, ladies and gentlemen. His first daughter, which is okay, her name is Penny. I don't know why it says Paola. Okay, Penny. Her name is Penny. Sorry. Her aspiration is esteemed entrepreneur. She's a party animal, proper, and an art lover. All right, Penny. Every day, her formal. So I'm guessing he had these kids, or they had these kids way, way after the other two daughters. Her athletic, because the other daughters, and Penny is a what? Yeah, she's a young adult. And Katrina had two other girls, so I don't know. Like maybe they moved away. We're gonna say they moved away. They no longer after their mom passed away. They didn't want to stay with Dawn. Okay, storyline just to connect them because no way that they could be passed away and unless something tragic happened. And Dawn is still living and they don't live with him. But maybe they left their younger siblings and Dawn to fend for themselves. I don't know if I said athletic because I started talking, but it's her athletic. Her party, her swimwear, and baby's looking good in this blue. Her hot weather. I try to sometimes give them like a color or a theme to go after. So I'm guessing hers is blue and her coat weather. And then her sister, Amira, I'm guessing her color is also blue. She is a teen, okay? Um, Her aspiration is successful lineage. She's a party animal and she's a bookworm. This is her everyday. Her formal. I'm guessing her theme is blue also. Her athletic. She says she's trying to keep her figure. Party. Okay, tattoo. Her swimwear. Her hot weather. And if y'all know some like good CC creators, like I did have a whole folder for my sister and it just I don't know, it didn't agree with my game and her cold weather. So I need more stuff that's not gonna break my game and you know, I just need more urban clothes. But yeah, that's Amiria. The second I believe this is the second household. So okay, the famous land grabs. Their previous description says the land grabs seem like the perfect family. Wealthy, well-mannered, brilliant. But Nancy and Jeffrey are each hiding something. Will their secrets tear them apart, or will they continue to build a wealthy dynasty? And moving on to their descendants, it says the Landgrabs dynasty marches on with Malcolm and Kennedy. Heirs to wealth, influence, and impeccable manners, Malcolm carries the family name with pride while Kennedy pursues her ambitions with sharp focus, determined to leave her own mark. Yet, even in this new generation, the Landgrab um, pen- penchant for secrets and scheming lingers, proving that beneath the perfect veneer, ambition and intrigue never truly die. All right, so I know the descendants might not quite match up. Like some might be the sons and daughters, some might be like the grandsons and granddaughters. Just work with me, okay? I didn't make a plan when I started remaking people. I just started remaking people. All right, so we're gonna start with Malcolm. Malcolm is an adult. His aspiration is public enemy, trait snob, evil, and cringe. Okay, Malcolm, ill. Hopefully he's not a peeve. So this is his everyday, and y'all know what kind of peeves I'm talking about. Predator. Um, Formal. Then you have his athletic. Then you have his party. You have his swimwear, his hot weather, and his cold weather. All right. Let's move on to Kennedy. Kennedy is a young adult. Her aspirations is academic, traits, idealist, bookworm, and perfectionist. All right, Miss Kennedy, every day. Then we have her formal, her athletic, her party, her swimwear, her hot weather. Okay, Miss Kennedy got a sense of style. And her cold weather. Right? And that is the newly reformed land grab family. Or how does it go? He was based off the show with Johnny Test. Johnny Test. This is the life of a boy named Johnny Test. Yeah, I just had to get that off. Yeah, Johnny Zest. Previous description says Johnny Zest has the stage name and the dream, but maybe not the talent. Disowned by the Landgrabs for quitting school, Johnny wants to make his own fame and fortune as a stand-up comedian. If anybody knows like the lore between him and the Landgrab, I haven't done my research and I want to know. Comment down below and tell me. All right, so moving on to his descendants. It says, leaving behind more than his old stage lights, Johnny left the legacy of ambition, charm, and scandal. His children, Jamie and Jeffrey, now live in the shadow of his fame and family feud with the Landgrabs. Jamie, neat and calculated, knows how to work a room and romance, while Jeffrey, a skeptical genius with the wandering heart, prefers to play love like a chess match. Together they carry the Zest name, a name that still sparks whispers, secrets, and maybe a little mischief in Oasis Springs. So I don't know if they're twins. I like making twins, as you can tell, um, or just brother and sister. All right, so we're starting with Jamie, who is an adult. Her aspiration is serial and romantic, neat. I mean, her traits are neat, insider, and a little bit of shady girl. So this is her everyday. And I keep forgetting to check if I got more than one outfit. I don't think I do. Her formal. So I don't know. That outfit just feel their body out, I guess. Her athletic. Because she was way wilder than that. Party. Okay, she a little wider than that one too. Maybe it's the outfit. Swimwear. I feel like I just put this on the other sim. Her hot weather. Her cold weather. Sorry. And then we go over to Jeffrey, her brother. And let's see, Jeffrey is a young adult. Villainous Valentine is his aspiration. He's a genius, non-committal, and skeptical. All right then, Jeffrey. So this is his everyday. Passed up. His formal. Got them luscious curls. His athletic. His party. His swimwear. His hot weather. And his cold weather. That is the Zest family. All right, now we're going to get into the families that I have added in Oasis Springs. So this is the Page family. They are new to the game. I made them. I have no idea when I made them and why I made them for, but I made them and I wanted to put them in games because I never played with them. But the description says, fresh from a painful divorce, Payola, and they sound familiar. Paige is rebuilding a peaceful life with her two daughters. While Paola searches for balance and calm, Peyton wrestles with big feelings, and a hot temper on her self care journey. Team Phoenix finds her peace in nature, plants, and the outdoors. Healing isn't simple, but this family is trying. And it looks like they have a color theme of pink and green. All right. So let's start with the mom, Payola Page. Okay. She's an adult. Her aspiration is Zen guru. Traits music lover, a little bit of disruptive, and she's neat. And these are her outfits. So you have everyday, you have formal, you have athletic, party, and then you have swimwear, and then you have hot weather, and then you have cold weather. And I don't know if you can tell, but I like using this um, heterochromia from what's her name? What do y'all know her name? Let me see if I can find it right quick. I think it's in Skin Detail. But she has like a brownish gold eye and a green eye. Thought that was pretty cute. I put them on my Sensei every now and again. Um, Twisted Cat. So shout out to Twisted Cat. I love doing the different eyes. But yeah, that is Payola the mom. All right. Next we have Peyton. Come on, Peyton. And I think Peyton has it too. Yep. So I'm guessing this is like a pink eye and then a green eye, which ties into their color. Peyton is a young adult. Her aspiration is self-care specialist. Her traits are a glutton. She's hot-headed and she's an idealist. Okay. So this is her everyday. Then you have her formal. You have her athletic. You have her party. You have her swimwear. You have her hot weather and her cold weather. Right? And then I believe younger sister Phoenix. I believe she's a teen. Yeah, teen. And she just has green eyes. But her aspiration is inner peace, and her traits are plant lover, and she loves the outdoors. Her outfits, this is her everyday. And then you have her formal, her athletic, her party, her swimwear, her hot weather, and her cold weather. All right, and that is the Page family. All right, next added family we have the Sinclair household. Description says Lexi Sinclair didn't just stumble into fame; she auditioned for it. Fresh off a tryout to become the next baby mama for Sim streamer Breezy. Shout out to Breezy, who hopefully is coming back soon. We miss you. Um, Lexi is stepping into the spotlight with high standards and higher expectations. Whether this chapter leads to motherhood, internet notoriety, or something stranger, Lexi is convinced destiny is on her side and she plans to parent, perform, and play every meal flawlessly. All right, Lexi. Um, so yeah, she was one of the girls I made for Breezy who did a 100 Baby Mama challenge, but disappeared off the face of the earth. No, I'm just playing. He did just put out a video saying he was coming back, so hopefully he comes back soon. But in the meantime, I chose to use my contestant, Lexi. So Lexi is a young adult. Her aspiration is a super parent, so she wants to be a parent. Her traits are perfectionist, mystical, and she's a foodie. All right, so let's get into Lexi's outfits. So this is her everyday. Oh, there we go. And as you can tell, I love, love, love those heels. Almost all of my girl Sims have them in some outfit. Her formal. Then we have her athletic. And I love that she has vitiligo. I try to incorporate as much as I can. Um, this is her party. Try to be inclusive. Her swimwear, her hot weather, and her cold weather. And that, my good sirs and ma'ams, is Lexi Sinclair. Team household. So I believe she came from so both me and my sister do sim shows or let's plays. Her name right now is Jazz Playhouse. I think she just came out with a show called Married to the Game, which is out on Netflix. It's also on our channel that we share together called Cozy and Company. Um, but yeah, so we did couple of like releases for her Patreon channel during like the Christmas season. And this is one of the Sims that I've made for her to put on her Patreon. Um, so yeah, so her description says, after surviving the North Pole, endless carols, and the chaos of the 12 days of Christmas, Crystal Chillington has had enough of the cold. Traded snowflakes for sunshine, she escaped to warmer shores in search of peace, inspiration, and a life that moves at her own rhythm. A quiet creative with love for music, Crystal prefers her own company, sandy beaches, and the freedom to create without expectations. This holiday runaway is ready to thaw out and never look back. Crystal, let's go through your outfits. All right, so Crystal is a young adult. Her aspiration is beach life, so maybe she'll move to Salani soon. Her traits are loner, music lover, and creative. Okay. So this is her. I think her thing was like something with frost. I don't know. Or snow. But this is her. So I'm pretty sure her colors were like blue. This is her everyday. This is her formal, her athletic, her party, her swimwear, her hot weather, and her cold weather. Right? Crystal Chillington. All right, last for this World Oasis Spring, and probably the last for this I won't say put together episode, but like the build up or our creation for our Black Widow Part 2. I'm calling this a prologue to Black Widow Part 2, but hey, prologues are for books. We have the Roomies household. So I believe this sim came from my very, very first like baddies type of show. I believe it was Trouble in Salani. That is, I believe, on this channel or on my channel, MillieJay. Uh, I didn't go like finish it, go through with it. But I believe she comes from that show. But her description says once living a wild and chaotic baddies only roommate household, Cherry Rain has decided she's done playing alone, at least on the surface. She's trading shared bills and petty drama for power, control, and calculated chaos. Hot headed, erratic, and impossible to ignore, Cherry thrives on disruption and does not plan on changing anytime soon. The baddie era may be over, but the mischief is just getting started. So we're gonna see if she caused any problems for our sim to be. So she is a young adult. Her aspiration is chief of mischief. She's hot-headed, erratic, and disruptive. And I think, going off her name, her color is red, Cherry Rain. So this is her every day. She's kind of on the not girly type. Oh, good lord, what's going on? Um, but yeah, her formal, her athletic. She's really tiny. She reminds me of speaking of baddies, Anna Matt. Says she reminds me of um Party. She has no shoes on. Let's get her a pair of shoes right quick. Of course, she's gonna put some on some heels. I'm not gonna put on the same ones I normally put on, even though I love those. I love them so much. Let's try these. Hmm, what about those? Okay, I like those better. All right, a party. Her swimwear, and she has a little vitiligo on her. Or maybe that's a burn mark, birthmark, or burn mark. Her hot weather and her cold weather, and that is Cherry. And that'll be the completion for Oasis Springs. Um, poss- Possibly the episode. So if this is the end of the episode, come back next Wednesday for another round of households and their descendants. Holla at your girl.